Yo guys, what is going on? Blossom is back and welcome back to another episode of Top Drives. Now, legendaries are the pinnacle of Top Drives. It is the highest rank and usually to most people, it holds the most wanted cars for most players, right? Maybe you might want a Porsche 918, maybe you might want a Bugatti Chiron Sport or a Rimac the Nevera. Is it Nevera, the 100 RQ one? What I'm trying to say is that the legendaries are usually built up of cars that people want the most. And going one further is going to be the topic of the video today. I've one unlocked of course I do. I am tempted to sell you. Please don't sell legendaries, okay? I've always said this a million times. I might have sold legendaries myself, but if you're watching, please never ever sell legendaries, okay? You gotta have a really big garage in order to, before you can even think about selling legendaries, okay? I just want to make it clear. I've never said that anybody should ever sell legendary. I mean, to a regular player at least. If you're like a whale like Brench, then you can do what you want. I ain't gonna say anything. But anyway, guys, today I want to talk about my 19 max legendaries, because the number one question that I always get when I do a garage review is what legendary should I upgrade? What legendary should I max? People are always asking me, even outside of garage reviews in the comment section, oh, Blossom, I just got this legendary. How should I upgrade it? Should I max this legendary? Etc, etc, etc. So today, I don't think I've ever really talked about it. I've done a legendary showcase, but I've never really talked about just my upgraded, well, fully upgraded legendaries. Why did I choose this particular 19? And I'm going to be going through it in order from my first ever max legendary to my most recent max legendary. So without further ado, let's get into it. So the first one is the Dodge Viper ACR, my first ever maxed legend, and I absolutely love this car to death. I remember I unpacked this on a fall night and a fall October night. I do not remember what the date was, but it was definitely October. New York. I've had it for 1,177 days, and it has been 98% win ratio, and I've raced it 7,555 times. Now, obviously, when I started playing Top Drives, I always started with a goal. I always had a goal. I wanted to be an American specialist, more specifically a Dodge specialist, and no matter what happens, the first legendary that I want to fully upgrade had to be a Dodge. And obviously the ACR was the first legendary Dodge I ever unpacked from a Dodge carbon fiber, and obviously, you know, I named it Hollywood. Everybody knows my ACR is Hollywood, and I maxed it out 2.9104, and it is one of the best cars in my garage till this day. Honestly, even till this day, I still use this car very frequently. Honestly, a part of me, because like the level of Top Drives has always been increasing, right? The ACR was even more useful back then in clubs. Now it's a bit less useful. What I'm trying to say is this: there's a higher chance of me losing using a max ACR now, because people out there are using cars like the Peugeot 905 or the Peugeot T16, or, you know, any of those super OP cars nowadays. So the ACR, I use it just a little less, just because I want to preserve that super high win ratio. So I only put it in conditions where I know it will win against now. But yeah, the ACR was the first legendary that I ever maxed. It is my favorite non-priced legendary until this day. Alright, next up, the second legendary that I decided to max was the Challenger SRT Demon, Blossom Jr., as I like to call him. Now, obviously, guys, I am a Dodge collector, right? I'm a Dodge collector. I'm an American collector. I know that I have like Porsches and Koenigsegg's Max, but that came like, you know, way later into the game. Think about it this way. I started playing in 2017. My first max legendary was October of 2019, and the next legendary I went on to max was my SRT Demon. And I'll be completely honest, I don't remember when I put in the final upgrades on this car. I'm not sure if I even finished it in 2019 or if I finished it early in 2020. I'm not sure, but I know for a fact this was my second maxed legendary, and once again, it's a super useful car. Obviously, I'm a Dodge collector, I'm an American collector, and I've raced it even more times than the ACR, 8,590 with a 95% win ratio. I've been racing it a little bit less now it has slick tires and it doesn't handle anymore, because back when it had 85 handling, it was actually still a very strong car for the twisty circuit and the hairpin, so I would have put it in those conditions, right? If that was a circuit breaker in clubs and there weren't necessarily any drags, I would still be using the demon because it was really good anyway on a twisty circuit or a hairpin. But now with 77 handling, it is too far gone. I cannot put it on anything else besides a drag, maybe a fast circuit, but that might still lose by 50 to other legendaries. But anyway, these two cars I absolutely love. The third legendary I ever maxed was Bollywood, my Dodge SRT Viper. I got Bollywood a couple, I think, days after the ACR. 1122, 1177. So yeah, about less than 2 months afterwards, another Dodge carbon fiber. Literally what happened was this: there was a Dodge event, there were 3 Dodge carbon fibers in the store. I got this, and the next Dodge event that happened was when I got the SRT Viper. So 3 more packs, I opened 3 more, and I got Bollywood. This took a very long time to finish. I got it in 2019, but I'm pretty sure that I only maxed it out maybe in late 2020, maybe even 2021, because I understood that the ACR was just always better than the SRT Viper. So I was really just maxing out a legendary that I didn't really need. I was maxing it out because I love the brand and I love the car. But outside of that, it isn't really that useful to me. So that's why it took so long for me to upgrade the SRT Viper. I still raced it almost 3,000 times, and it has a win ratio of a way lower 83%. So those were the first 3 legendaries. Now this is where it gets tough. What the hell was the 4th max legend? I have no clue what it was. I think it was the Viper GTSR. I'm pretty sure this was my 4th max legend. 2.7105. Now this one took a very long time to max. I think, if I remember correctly, this came out in 2020. And it took me a year to max it out. 2021, I think I tied the knot. 92% win ratio, 3,026. At this point, the Viper GTSR, when I owned the Viper GTSR, I also had cars like the HDI FAP in my garage. I think I knew I had cars like the Bugatti Chiron for sure, right? I had cars that got me a lot more value. That's why it took so long for me to max out the GTSR. I think for the longest time, my GTSR was giving me a lot of value at 339. Like, I maxed out the handling and it stayed that way for a very long time. But obviously, you know me, guys. I'm a Dodge collector. I want every single Dodge in the game. I don't care what the rarity is. I am going to max it out, and I maxed out the GTSR. Now, after the GTSR, I need to think about the next legendary I maxed out, and I think this is going to be the Pagani Zonda. I do believe it was the Pagani Zonda. In fact, I think I maxed out the Pagani Zonda before I maxed out the GTSR. It was one or the other. It's really tough. I can't remember, but I know that I maxed this July. It was the 4th of July. 4th of July, 2021, I believe. Peugeot HDI FAP. This was a car that I maxed within 3 days. I love how the GTSR took a year. The ACR, literally my favorite legendary, took a couple of months. Demon took a couple of months. SRT Viper took a couple of months. Pagani Zonda, couple of days. Like 2 days, basically. This was basically like when I realized, wow, I am a big time player now. I am maxing legendaries just to stay afloat in a tri-series. I think I ended up being like 8th or 7th in the Peugeot HDI FAP final. Incredibly crazy bracket. But yeah, I've had it for 495 days, 959 races with an 82% win ratio. I gotta say though, ever since I maxed out the Zonda for the Peugeot HDI, and this is infamous, this is an infamous car because there are 2 epic prize cars in this. A lot of people still don't like the fact that I fused away 2 epic prize cars. The Maserati Birdcage as well as the Infinity, both of them are in this car now. The Zonda ate it, okay? I have no regrets fusing away the Infinity. And I had no regrets fusing away the Maserati until it went down to Ultra Rare. Had the Maserati 250F remained an epic until this day, I would have absolutely 0 regrets of fusing it away. But now that it's in an Ultra Rare, yeah, I do regret it. But obviously at the time, 495 days ago, you couldn't tell me that, you know, in 400 days time, the Maserati was going to go down to Ultra Rare. You know what I mean? So yeah, I stick by fusing that car away. 215 top speed, very lightweight, amazing MRA. I gotta say, it was a huge investment. I mean, any max legendary is a massive investment. This car was particularly a huge investment in a very short time, but it's given me a lot of value since. I'm very happy with the Zonda S, and I still use it very frequently till this day. After the Pagani Zonda S, I do believe it was the Porsche 959. Porsche 9. No, you know what? My 4th Max Legendary, cut that, GTSR 959, Zonda. Before all of that was actually the Viper. I thought Syracuse came out in 2021, but no, because American Frontier came out December of 2020, I believe. So this was my 4th Max Legendary, and it's the fastest Max Legend, probably one of the fastest Max Legends in the entire game. I maxed this in 2 minutes. If you do not believe me, you can go watch that video. It's an American Frontier video somewhere in December of 2020. I unpacked the Viper TA and I maxed it on stream. Everyone was there. Leo was there. I believe Uncle was there. Oliver was probably there. I don't think Val was there at the time. But yeah, the Viper TA, which I called Syracuse or nicknamed Syracuse, is the fastest Legendary I've ever maxed. 2 minutes on the spot. It's all recorded. You don't believe me? You can go watch the video. This was on the spot. I maxed it out. Skipped the fuses with the gold, and honestly, this car has won me so many prize cars, man. 686 days, 1,432 races, 86% win ratio. It's a very good car, but at the same time, it's just a worse version of the ACR. At the end of the day, it's ACR all day, baby. Handling is everything. The TA is great, but the ACR is just better. Hollywood is just better. Okay, so yeah, after the TA, then it was the Pagani, and then after the Pagani, it was the Viper, and then after the Viper, it was the Porsche 959. Or I think it was the 959 and then it was the Vipers, something like that. Porsche 959, this continued the trend of maxing out a Legendary for a Tri-Series prize car. Up till this day, I've only maxed out 2 Legendaries for a Tri-Series prize car. Max, right? I've 2-starred a lot of Legendaries for Tri-Series prize cars, but yeah, the 959 and the Zonda were for Tri-Series prize cars. 959 was for Yesko Absolute, and I have no regrets. I mean, I love my Yesko. I maxed my Yesko. So I have no regrets for winning the Yesko Absolute. This one, unlike the Pagani Zonda, however, is useless. I really don't like it. I mean, I've raised it over 1,000 times and it has a decent win ratio, but I gotta be honest, like, this car provides no value for me. I remember there was one time, it was like a medium ground clearance, like 80s event or something like that. And I had my maxed out Porsche 959, and I think I ended in the event like tier 3. I couldn't even get a ceramic pack. I couldn't even get top 10, and I was running a max 959 because that's the reality of owning a 959. It's a pseudo legendary. It's not worthy to be there. It's very useless outside of anything that requires medium ground clearance. And even if it is medium ground clearance, it isn't even that useful anyway because it doesn't handle. It's a very, very poor car. I don't know why it's 87. It really shouldn't be. If anything, it should be an epic. Maybe I'm being a bit too harsh. Maybe it should be like an 82, but definitely not 87. Hell no. Okay. After that was the Dodge Viper SRT10 ACR. Now this took a couple of months, not too long. The other Viper prize car took a way longer time than GTSR. ACRX, I think I won it October. I think it was October of 2021, I believe. And I maxed it out, I want to say December, maybe? December 2021? No, definitely not. December 2021, I was in London and I was not playing top drives. I probably maxed it out in November. I maxed it out in a month. Oh, that's really fast. I actually maxed this out really fast. Once again, you know, I mean, it's fast for a prize card because this isn't something that I need to, you know, there's no time restraint to max out a prize card. Once you win it, you can max it in any time you want. But yeah, once again, literally because it's a Dodge, I'm an American collector, I'm a Dodge collector. That's literally it. I don't use this card too often. As you can see, 688 races in respective terms of the other legendary prize cards. Not a lot. But yeah, I think what else was next? So I have all of those. Oh, and then it was the Caddy 16. So Caddy 16, I had literally one upgrade. You know my Lotus Evora, the blue one that used to be a legendary? The Caddy 16 was the same. It was one upgrade away from being maxed out for the longest time. I had it, I think 669? No, that doesn't make any sense. I 669 most of my legendaries, but this one's drag spec, as you can see. I had it, what did I have it at? I think it was 696. I think it was 696 or something like that. It was quite a while ago. And that was because I needed to upgrade it for a final. It was the Roof CTR3. The first time, not the rerun that happened recently. It was the first time of the Roof CTR3 Club Sport. maxed the baby, almost maxed the baby out, and I basically just tied the knot recently. This car has been such a great servant. I've used it so many times. It's won me so many prize cars. 4,779 races with 89% win ratio. Okay, so after the Cadillac 16, everything else, as you can see, was the time of the tokens, when we got legendary upgrade tokens. So let's talk about legendary. Oh wait, no, not yet, not yet. GT2. So GT2 was next. This was before the tokens, because obviously, like, when PL15 came out, I didn't get my tokens. If you remember, I didn't have my tokens, so I couldn't max out any of the legendaries yet. But the 911 GT2, obviously I maxed out with epics, and yeah, I mean, we know about this car. I maxed it out, I think, in like a week, maybe less than a week. Müller, as I love to call him, 2.2109. Absolutely amazing. I love this car so much. 98% win ratio, only 84 days and 714 races, so almost the same amount of races as the Viper. So yeah, absolutely love this car. Maxed it out with epics, and then after that, oh, and Blosseg, how could I forget Blosseg? Blosseg won me the Viper GTSR. I maxed him out 4 pops. And yeah, absolutely love this car. Once again, I think I maxed it out over a weekend for the Viper GTSR final. It was definitely overkill. I did not need to max this car out for the Viper finals, but I dedicated it to pops and I dedicated it to Blosseg, that I was going to max it out. I think I said that in European Revolution I was going to max out the first Koenigsegg that I got, and this was the first Koenigsegg, or one of the first Koenigsegg's. I think I said I would max a European Revolution legendary, because the first Koenigsegg that I got was a yellow one. But yeah, this was the second Koenigsegg that I got. I mean, I got them on the same day anyway, but this one came after. Yeah, 233, love Blosseg, 2.3102. Okay, now we talk about the token boys. So I got my tokens. Obviously, I had a few legendaries that went down, like the Evora and the Porsche. So Alpha maxed it out. That was the first car that I used with tokens. I absolutely love my 164 Pro car. I did not use all my tokens on this because I already had my 164 slightly upgraded, but I just tied the knot with the token. So the 164 was done. I also maxed out the Suzuki Escudo Pikes Peak with tokens. So these two came at about the same time, 2.099. Why did I decide to choose the Escudo? Is because it is the highest handling off-road tire car, and we all know that in the entire meta for off-road tires, handling is everything. The 0 to 60 could be trash, the top speed could be trash, the MRA could be trash, doesn't matter. When it comes to the off-road meta, you just want handling, you want the 4-wheel drive drivetrain, and you want off-road tires. You got those 3 set, you're set. But the 2.0 0 to 60, I mean, it helps because I can use it on the dry as well. And this is indeed 233. Yeah, I did not 323 it because I knew that I was going to be using this car a lot in the dry as well. So 382 races, 142 days with a 94% win ratio. And then we continue on with what I use with tokens. So I also maxed out my BMW M5 with tokens. Once again, yeah, I know it seems like that I had a lot of tokens, but for the BMW M5, once again, I already had it at 2-star, right? I had it at 2-star because I wanted to win the Peugeot 208 WRX. So I basically only used, like, I think 2 fuse tokens and 6 upgrade tokens on the BMW M5. It was just like a, I wanted to finish it off. And it was the same story for the 911 GT2. Obviously, this one Blossom Madness. The voting ended in my server, and the 911 GT2 won. And it was a kind of a win-win situation for me because I didn't need to use all of my tokens to max this out because I also had this upgraded already, because this is a very, very old car, guys. Remember, the 911 GT2 RS is a channel favorite. This won me the Porsche 918. So it's a very, very special car. I've had it for 1,745 days, man. That is so old. 6,393 races with 80% win ratio. So I basically just finished it off there. And I think I finished off one more car. It was a 918. I finished off the 918 with tokens as well. My Porsche 918, 2.1104. Obviously, this was like my first love, like my first prize car love. Like, this was the first prize car I really, really wanted. Because remember, the Porsche 918 came out before the demon even existed in the game. So I remember this car so fondly. I think some of my channel OGs might remember how I won it, where I won it, right? I won it on a plane. Okay, I bought Wi-Fi on a plane. The finals ended when I was flying, for crying out loud. 1,609 days ago, I was flying on my way to Disneyland. I got, like, the context of this is this, okay? I just graduated from high school. at the time. I am 22 years old now. I was 18 years old when I won the 918. That's how long I've been playing this game, which is crazy. That's one of the reasons why I love this game, because I have so much memories with this now. And yeah, the Porsche 918, I just graduated from high school. Me and my best buddies were flying to LA. We were gonna have, a great, our party. It was a graduation party. We were gonna Disneyland and other stuff that I can't say because it might not be illegal. But Porsche 918 Spider, man, like I won this on the flight on the way to LA. I'll never forget that. It's the only prize car I won on a damn plane. Like, how many of you guys can say that you won a prize car on a plane? If your name is Ricardo, I get it. Ricardo's probably won prize cars on planes and trains and boats and tanks, but outside of him and I, like, it's surreal. And then yeah, I also maxed out my Koenigsegg Jesko Absolute tokens because this car is an absolute beast. It is the testable car, and it has been the testable car since I won it up till this day, and it will remain the testable car and the drag car until they release the Hennessy. I think it's the F5 or whatever it's called. So yeah, I've had it for 548 days. It's been a great car, great addition to my garage. 1,755 races, and 89% of a win ratio. And I think the last legendary, oh yeah, and this with tokens as well. Mitsubishi Lancer Evo 8, and then the last but not least was a Peugeot. This one I maxed out with epics. I mean, come on, man, this was the best car in the game. This is the best car in the game. I had to max it out. It's very rare that I max out a legendary prize car, let alone when it's not even American or Dodge. But yeah, the Peugeot 208. Like, it's been too long, like the best prize car for the longest time was the Volkswagen IDR, and I never had the fun of experiencing that. I didn't win the Volkswagen IDR. Still don't regret it, by the way. I absolutely hate Volkswagen, but yeah, a part of me wanted to own the best car in the game, to feel, having, what it's like to have the best car in the game. Never had that. And then the Navara came out, didn't win that either, but honestly the IDR is better than the Navara anyway. And then the Peugeot comes around, and it turns out that it's even better than the freaking Volkswagen. And I was like, okay, this is my time to shine. I want to know what it feels like to own the best car in the game and have it maxed out all the way. So I just told myself, forget it. Just use the epic fuse material that you have left. You've already used all your tokens. So T16, max it out, baby. So yeah, obviously 2 through 3. I freaking love this car, dude. It's so OP. It's actually OP. 95% win ratio, 224 races, 58 days. It's kind of crazy though that my Viper ACR has a higher win ratio than my Peugeot 208 T16. I honestly don't even remember when this car even lost. I don't know how it has a 95% win ratio. Honestly, I thought it was going to be higher than that. But yeah, that is the story of all my max legends. Obviously for the Mitsubishi, I talked about this super quickly, but why I decided to max it again was because I love this car, dude. It's one of my most used cars in my garage. 9,208 races, 93% win ratio, medium ground clearance. I'm a saloon collector, and it handles very well. 4-wheel drive, a low 0 to 60. It's a jack of all trades, master of everything. Not master of none, master of everything. I just love the car. But at the end of the day, what's my favorite max legendary? It's the ACR, 100%. What is my second favorite max legendary? It's the Demon. It's easy. And then what is my third favorite max legendary? It's the GT2. Now, what do I think is the most useful max legendary? It's a three-way tie, honestly. It's either the Peugeot 208, simply because it is the best, the Alpha Pro car, which is just absolutely jaw-droppingly amazing, or the Lancer Evo 8. If you can max this car out, it's still damn useful, honestly. What is my most useless max legendary? 959, without a doubt. What is my most sentimental max legendary? 911 GT2. What is the fastest legendary I ever maxed? Viper TA in a couple of minutes. If you have any more questions, let me know down in the comments below, but hopefully I answered most of them. But anyway, guys, that's going to be it for today's video. Those are my max legendaries. Stay tuned for the next video, because it's going to be massive. Anyway, hope you guys have a great day. I'm gonna stay safe, wash your hands, and blossom out. Peace.
Bro, this song just makes me so happy.
Me too.
Imagine being Asian in the 50s, looking nifty, leather jacket, looking sleek, look like Presley, look so deadly. Got a jukebox back at home, feeling jazzy, turn it on and play it slow, like the movies with the ladies.
They so fine.
Imagine being Asian in the 50s, looking nifty, leather jacket, looking sleek, look like Presley, look so deadly. Got a jukebox back at home, feeling jazzy, turn it on and play it slow, like the movies with the ladies.
They so fine.
Sit back, relax in my Bonneville.